The first four competitors of the pack.
This is it. It's win or go home.
It's a cheeky chip. It's the 2023 champion Emre Yilmaz.
This is my time.
Nicolas makes it 5 goals to 3.
It's time to keep your head.
Nicolas, calm, composed and cold as ever.
This is the eChampions League Semi-Finals.
Well, it's semi-final time here at the eChampions League. 8 becomes 4, and very soon it will be one of these two charging towards lifting that trophy for a second time in their career. Both have been on this stage many times before, and both have won this competition. The year after the other, it was Nicolas back in 22 in Stockholm, and Emre Yilmaz clutched up just the year after in Istanbul. This semi-final has so much on it. Some would even argue it could be a grand final, but only one of them will be making it into that last matchup here in Munich. Myself, Brandon Smith and Casey are taking you through a game that is just so hard to predict. They had quarter-final performances that I didn't expect.
No, this is an epic matchup that none of us could have predicted. This easily could have been a final, as you said. We saw them face off in the La Liga semi-finals as well, so it's a bit of a revenge match here for Emre, as he did lose to Nicolas in that semi-final. But I'm excited for this one. This could be one of the best matches of the day.
Absolutely. In case you missed it, Nicolas won the LALIGA FC Pro just last month in April in Valencia, where he was able to go back-to-back as champion. By them two making it into the top 4, that was enough to qualify Emre Yilmaz back into the eChampions League. He did lose to Nicolas 3-2, and let's just say maybe he wasn't so happy with how the game did plan out there. That was the first time that Nicolas, in fact, has actually beaten Emre Yilmaz at LAN. Before that, the last 4 times they've matched, Emre Yilmaz has always had Nicolas's number. But as Mark Marley said there in his interview case, this is knockout FC. This is one game at a time. Forget the group stages, forget anything of that. It's a 9-minute half, anything can happen, and if we need extra time and penalties, we shall go there.
Absolutely, is one game at a time. It's crazy though, because as they look behind them, they see the trophy there. So they're so close to getting that trophy within their grasp, but they have to go one game at a time, because if they start rushing, getting ahead of themselves, thinking about that final, anything can happen.
And surely they must know as well, because they've done this journey before, Case. They've been in the groups, the league phase, the knockout phase. They've gone all the way to the lengths of winning this tournament and having their name on that trophy. In some ways, you could argue that gives you a bit more confidence.
Absolutely, and if we're talking about last year's competition, Emre Yilmaz getting knocked out in the semifinals, so he's definitely wanting to improve off of last year. Nicolas getting knocked out in the groups, so already improved on his performance from last year.
Nicolas wins this tournament today, the eChampions League. He will be one of the first players to be on the cusp of picking up $1 million in prize earnings. And the fact that he's still not been a world champion yet is mind-boggling, that he's won all that prize money.
No, it is absolutely insane. He's in the contention for the quote-unquote GOAT, but...
Is he the GOAT?
In my opinion, he is.
I mean, we can ask the chat as well. I'm sure we can get a poll ahead of the match prediction. Is Nicolas the GOAT right now? If he goes to win this competition, he'll be a 2-time eChampions League winner. He's not got a world championship behind him, but so many people do call him the GOAT, and I feel like for me, it's hard to argue against it, but he's just missing that world championship.
I think if he does win a world championship, that is the signed, sealed, delivered GOAT status. But yeah, let us know in the chat, who is your GOAT in terms of the FC scene? We would love to know.
I feel like if he did win the world championship, he would probably retire with the amount he's done. He would have definitely earned over $1 million if that was the case. That is what they're playing for, the eChampions League trophy. As I said, they've both lifted this incredible trophy once before in back-to-back years. Well, should we get it underway then? Semi-final time in the eChampions League, as Emre Yilmaz will take on Nicolas for a spot in the eChampions League Grand Finals. It's crazy to say as well, Case, that there is a world that if Emre Yilmaz was to go and become champion again today, he would have not have lost a single game in this whole eChampions League process.
No, that would be absolutely insane. Not losing a game in the league phase, in all of the knockout phase. And that is quite a feat, because we said goodbye to so many top-tier competitors in the league phase, and to go through all of that undefeated is just very, very impressive.
Well, we asked for your predictions as well. Who's going to win this game? A 60-40 poll. Nicolas taking the slight advantage there of coming out on top. As we said, they played just over a month ago. These two matched on the 20th of April in Valencia. It was a semi-final where Nicolas was able to beat Emre Yilmaz as Sevilla took on Real Sociedad. Now they match up in an eChampions League semi-final with Emre Yilmaz. He's got unfinished business.
What a start here for Emre Yilmaz. It all starts off with Maradona. Not many people have Maradona on their team, but he gets it in to Thierry Henry with the finish. It puts him up 1-0 against Nicolas.
Well, he openly said after his quarter-final win that he doesn't have any respect for Nicolas when he comes onto the pitch. And Nicolas might just say the same. 1 minute later, down the other end, Nicolas ties up the game at 1-1.
Ginola into Pele, twisting and turning. He wanted a quick answer after that goal. Harry Kane across the goal makes it 1-1.
What a start. We know they're great starts in their quarterfinals. Both are 4-0 up in their games. Back to you, Emre Yilmaz.
You can't blink?
You blink, you'll miss a goal here in the eChampions League.
The play starts off with Kimmich, again into Thierry Henry, doesn't even need to green time the shot. That puts him up 2-1. It is absolute madness here in this first semi-final matchup.
You win this game, oh my, David Beckham, you win this game, $50,000 guaranteed without a ball even being kicked in the grand final. Huge stakes on the line. You can only just begin to feel the pressure that these players must be under. Just does enough there, Lucio, because Thierry was very much on the way. That's a poor pass, though, from Nicolas.
Dangerous through balls coming in here. Thierry Henry is just ready to go. Nicolas has to stay on his game if he's going to keep Emre Yilmaz off of him.
Well, in case you've missed the news here with the eChampions League, there is going to be a champion icon SBC that's going to be chosen by our winner here tonight in Munich. We've already revealed 3 of the icons that are in the selection process: Andrea Pirlo, Socrates and Fernando Torres. There is still 3 more. Well, it could very much be. David Ginola, can he find the pass to the back post? Wins a corner instead. I'm sure Emre Yilmaz will not mind. Lofted into the front post. Lucio was in the air. It looked like he was going for a bicycle kick for a second. Still not fully dealt with. Zé Roberto finds the feet of Maradona, then recycles into Henry. 3-1, Emre Yilmaz leads.
Thierry Henry, MVP for Emre Yilmaz in these situations. Maradona into Thierry Henry, across the goal. It is 3-1. Not many celebrations. We don't get to see that too often here with Emre. The only time we see him celebrate is when he's actually lifting that trophy. He's locked in until those final moments.
Well, what a start he has had so far to his eChampions League finals journey. An 8-2 win in his quarter-final, sorry. When you play against a player of Nicolas's quality case, it's all about the start. It's all about making it difficult for Nicolas, making him uncomfortable, and more importantly, just not letting him score first.
Absolutely, but Nicolas is one of those players that even down in the latter half of the game, somehow he's able to get back into this one. And so I anticipate a few more goals here from the Iceman.
Oh my, look at the high line that he's playing every time, and Emre Yilmaz is just going to pick him off. He's on for 4.
The confidence that we are seeing here from Emre Yilmaz is just fantastic. We're seeing this come from an undefeated Emre. Henry, beautiful pass into Maradona. I mean, Ginola dribbles it in. He chooses to go with the chip over the keeper. Keeper cannot get to it in time. All right, we see a little bit of a celebration there. He's heating up.
It just seems like a very aggressive back line, though, doesn't it, Case? Every time. It's a really risky manoeuvre from Nicolas. Well, a simple 1-2, and the pace that his forwards have got, you're leaving yourself in such a dangerous situation.
Now, Brandon, you mentioned some icon SBCs that we could potentially get in.
The guesses.
Yeah, can we get some hints?
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to reveal the next icon that could be chosen. As we said, it's all about the champion here tonight in the Champions League. They have the power, so whoever wins tonight, maybe drop them a message on social media and tell them who you want to select. I'll give you a clue. This next icon that's in the 6 of the available selection is from France.
France, okay. So
you can have a guess, the chat can have a guess.
All right, I have a guess for you, because I personally would love this item. Is it Thierry Henry?
I know Ryan Purcell wanted them
You
as
would
well.
also love that.
It's not Thierry Henry.
Okay.
However, it is a player that played for Arsenal.
Okay, good hint. Yeah,
That
let
gives
us know in
you,
the chat who we think it might be. Oh, a lot of people are saying Zidane, potentially.
Did he play for Arsenal? I mean, they wish he did.
No, maybe they're just a lot of Zidane fans.
Thierry Henry on for 5. He goes for that famous chip again.
What about a Patrick Vieira?
Oh, I like your thinking. No.
No. All right. Well, it's worth a try.
Not. I mean, look, they're unbelievable icon items, aren't they? Here's Nicolas. Is Kane going to get there? He is. Bit of confusion at the back there for Emre Yilmaz. The defender didn't want to lock onto it. And even in the goalkeeper.
I almost thought the goalkeeper was going to get there in time. Starts off with Vieira, passes by into Harry Kane. Goalkeeper cannot get a foot on it, and he's able to get it in the back of the goal.
It seems like it actually worked out quite well there. I think it was Pele that originally was going to lock onto the ball, but didn't. Any more guesses coming in? Here we go. Franck Ribéry. As we said, the next icon we're about to reveal, he is a French icon, but it's not Ribéry. Laurent Blanc, I think there's an Arsenal link there, isn't there? Not him. All right, you got me. Robert Pires, confirmed.
There we go.
He is in the 6 icon selection for the champion SBC. So in case you've not heard the others, Socrates, Andrea Pirlo, Fernando Torres, and Robert Pires are in the selection pool for our champion here tonight in Munich. There are still 2 more icons we will reveal later into the show, so stay tuned if you want to hear who those could be. And remember, as it's an SBC case, we can even get the player in our squads.
Absolutely. I completed the one last year, and I will be completing it again. There's a couple on that list that I would prefer, I think, so I might need to have some chats with the winner.
You might have to get some fodder free. Henry, his shot blocked. Maradona runs into his teammate. Plays for Tweedy. Looking just to drive into the space that's been made available. Can Harry Kane get a shot away? David Ginola. I mean, we can't complain with the half that we've seen so far, okay? It's been
end-to-end.
pretty much end-to-end, hasn't it?
So many goals. You can't take your eyes off the screen because there's going to be a goal that you miss.
Well, the year that Emre Yilmaz did win the Champions League, these two did match up in the knockout stages, and it was Emre Yilmaz that beat Nicolas. As I was saying, aside of the LALIGA FC Pro matchup they played last month, the last 4 times these have matched at World Championships, eChampions Leagues, Emre Yilmaz has always been able to beat Nicolas. And as the half-time whistle blows, he's in a really comfortable position.
Is it comfortable, though? Because a 2-goal lead against a player like Nicolas, I'm still worried at this point. I think that Emre knows that he has the expertise to potentially come back in this game, and he needs to keep his eye on the prize here.
It's a 2-goal cushion, which isn't the biggest of gaps, which I have to agree with you is very difficult against a player of Nicolas's quality. But if you could put two of the calmest players next door to each other, you wouldn't find anyone else.
No.
They give you zero reaction, these two.
It's the composure. They have the mentality to be champions. They've done before. 2022, 2023. And it's the mentality that wins you those trophies at the end of the day.
Absolutely. As we said, if you have just tuned in, this is the eChampions League final. We're in Munich with a live crowd this evening. Tonight, someone will be picking up $75,000 and that trophy you can see in the distance, and also the Icon SBC that we keep on talking about at home. There is also a mystery league while we're in the pause of play here, Kat. Has anyone been able to guess it yet in the chat? Because
I've seen a few guesses, and I think that I've seen a couple correct answers. But a lot of guesses in the chat.
There's a lot of guesses, isn't there? Normally someone sort of makes up a lie and then everyone goes and uses the wrong player and no one really benefits from it. Well then, should we kick off this second half? Nicolas using his full 90-second pause, as so is Emre Yilmaz. He knows what a big game this is, a $50,000 game this. Huge chance to build momentum heading in to the last stage of this season. Hang on a second. Emre Yilmaz might be on for 5. What a start to this second half.
What a start it is for Emre Yilmaz. It all starts off with Mo Salah quickly passed into Maradona. Thierry Henry, like we said earlier, MVP of the game. Green timed. Not much that Nicolas can do here as we see his reaction. A little bit of a shake of the head.
It's that little sort of through ball, isn't it? That people at home might be thinking, how they can add it into their game. If you get the timing of it right, Case, it is so deadly.
And he keeps going for it as well, and it continues to work for him.
Oh my, goalkeeper's gone packing. Goalkeeper's gone missing! I don't think Renzo can quite believe what he's seeing. Emre Yilmaz is on flames.
My goodness. Starts off the Maradona. The goalkeeper is absolutely nowhere to be seen. He has space for days. Thierry Henry getting another one. We see a little bit of a celebration there, but Emre Yilmaz looking top tier in the semifinal.
And as cold as the Iceman is, I feel like he's really met his match at the moment at Emre Yilmaz, who is got a 4-goal lead. Not for so long, though. Vieira down the other end gives Nicolas the start of a comeback.
I mentioned it before.
6-3 now.
Do not ever count out a player like Nicolas. David Beckham, not many people have him on their team. Into Patrick Vieira. And he's back in this match, 6-3. Emre Yilmaz still leads.
Seven.
Make it 7.
Goals to 3 for Emre Yilmaz. 15 goals he scored in his last 2 games. Yes, it might have been a fortunate bounce back, but it's what he does from that point onwards, isn't it, that makes all the difference.
He still has to finish. He still has to get the ball in the back of the net, and he indeed does that. We'll see if Nicolas has an answer here, because this match is slowly getting away from him.
Pele wins a corner. He's just playing it so well, though, because even when Nicolas gets the goal back, he just restores that lead again.
There's always an answer.
And we said at a 2-goal cushion it was all right, but a 4-goal lead.
And he'll continue to push.
Oh, we will.
Because at this point, he doesn't even need to continue to push. He could sit back, try to just hold possession for as long as possible, make sure that Nico doesn't get a goal in here, but it does seem like Emre is continuing on trying to pursue more goals.
Right. mystery leagues, I can confirm that isn't my dad in the chat, M. Smith. Scottish Prem is the mystery league. It's not. If you somehow completed an objective with the Scottish Prem, then fair play to you. Liga Portugal, no, that was before. That was back in the league phase. That was in the Champions League. Hello. Oh my.
La Liga, incorrect. Nice try though.
It will be revealed at a later point in the show, for those wondering as well, the Mystery League. Thierry Henry! 8-3! Everything that Emre Yilmaz touches is just turning into gold at the moment.
Fantastic tackle here. Starts off with Ginola. Henry across the goal. Green timed. I mean, this is just excellence at its finest here for Emre Yilmaz.
Five-goal leads with over 25 minutes left in this game. I know it's Nicolas. I know he does the miracles sometimes, but I just can't see a comeback here. Can you?
I never say never, especially for a player like Nicolas, but it would be a very difficult task.
He's
here.
offside. Well, up next after this one, you're probably wondering who's on the other side of the bracket. Mark Marley takes on Anders Vergang in the semi-finals of the eChampions League. The winner will play Emre Yilmaz by the looks of it. I mean, look, Mark Marley. We know he's got the quality, we know he's got the ability, but what a result that was against Johnny.
What a result. To take down the reigning champion of this competition at this stage is just so good, especially because we saw a difficult league phase for Mark. It was not an easy process for him, but he's fought his way here. You know, it's tooth and nail getting him into this situation, but he deserves to be here because he is taking down some of the best.
Well, he said it in the best way possible, that the eChampions League phase for him was like playing in a World Championship with the names that were around him. And you can't argue with that. So many stat names in the competition. Mohamed Salah, Maradona, offsides.
It's interesting though, Brandon, because I asked Emre before we did our interview how he was feeling after that Alihan game, and he goes, it wasn't easy. And it was an 8-2 game. And so I do feel like even in games where it seems like he's dominating, it's not an easy thing for him to do. He's still having to have 100% focus in order to do a potential opportunity here. Another one, Ginola. Emre is just on fire.
Does he know this is a semi-final? Or the bigger part that he's playing against nicolas99? No one does that to Nico. Emre Yilmaz does.
9 goals.
9-3, Emre Yilmaz leads. I mean, put him in the final already if he didn't. He's on his way to another eChampions League Grand Final. He was there in Istanbul in 2023. 2 years on. He's looking to be the first player to have won this competition twice.
I've just seen the best comment in the chat. Someone has asked, is Emre doing the 45 goals objective? That is a great question.
I think at that point it's just disrespect, isn't it?
That was such a difficult objective. I struggled so much.
40, you could play on like amateur though, right?
Beginner.
Beginner, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still hard though. The timing of it's very difficult. 45 goals.
Does anyone complete it?
There's some.
9-3. Surely he's not on for double digits. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Time running away for Nicolas, unfortunately. He still needs 6 goals in just real no time at all. Pele bundled off it by fellow Brazilian Lucio. Oh, cleverly done there by Mohamed Salah. And a tactical foul there from Nicolas. Zambrotta into the book with a yellow card. mean, it's hard to call this one, Case, because Emre Yilmaz had a really perfect quarter-final, but this one, I argue it's been better in many ways.
No, I think he's just all around the better player in this specific moment in time. I know that we've seen their matches go back and forth. Nicolas won in La Liga, but we're just seeing a different class of Emre Yilmaz here in this semifinal, and to be honest, the entirety of this competition.
Well, it's a really well-taken goal from Nicolas, but unfortunately it won't be much for him. But it's going to be Emre Yilmaz's day. As he will be going through to another eChampions League Grand Final. Well, into the pause we go. 4 minutes left. Believe it or not, we've already had 49 goals scored today.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. You know what else is insane? Emre Yilmaz is potentially going to be going up against Marley or Anders.
Yeah.
That'll be a good match as well.
Well, that semi-final comes straight up next after this one. Well, there's one of his teammates that watches on, Mane Bashore, in the crowd. He'll be no doubt happy with what he's seen from his good friend and fellow Dutch teammate. I'm sure they're both going to be watching the Champions League final together on Saturday. Maybe Emre will treat him to dinner if he picks up that $75,000 in the grand final. Well, are we going to see goal 50 in this game? Added time to follow. Commiserations to Nicolas. We know where he has been this year. From World Championships to CONMEBOL Libertadores. Still so consistent, but unfortunately will not be having his name on this year's trophy.
It just goes to show that some of the most consistent competitors will be going out of this competition because we just have some of the best players in the world. And it's crazy that we had an Emre Yilmaz versus Nicolas in this stage, but it was an epic one.
Full-time result, 12 goals between the two of them. As Emre Yilmaz cruises through to an eChampions League Grand Final. What a performance, what a night he's having here in Munich. One step away from the big one.